Today I'm going to show you how to make a really simple potato side dish. This is tasty. It's usually a pretty solid home run. I'm using these like little mini potatoes for this, and these work really well because they're low starch and they boil up nicely. So firstly, I'm going to cut them into small fork-sized pieces, and I'm going to put them into cool water that's been salted. And then I'm going to bring that water up to a boil with some absolutely awful camera work. But there we go. Nice, bright, and colorful. Now, there are recipe versions of this on both sides of my family. In fact, my mother-in-law, I think, or one of the sides of my family, called it Jacques Pepin potatoes. And I believe that's where the recipe originates. The slightly different take I'm going to make on this is that instead of taking them, straining them, and putting them straight back into the skillet, I'm going to let them dry there, and I'm going to brown some butter in the skillet. What this is going to do is add a little bit of a depth of flavor, and because the potatoes will dry really well in the strainer, when they go back into the skillet, they'll be dry on the outside and they'll crisp in that hot fat, the butter, and they'll also still retain that nice puffiness that they got when they boiled. Now in the background you might see here I was also cooking up some onions. This is an optional step if you want just to be happening to do this. I took those onions and I put them in with the potatoes as well. And that gave the potatoes a really nice flavor of onions and of the fat that they were cooking in that other skillet, cooking another meal in that one. So at any rate, here we've mixed the onions in. The potatoes are starting to brown up a little bit on the outside. And as they're just a little bit shy of done, I'm going to put in parsley. Now you put that in with your heart. I put in a ton of parsley. Most people would say I get some criticism for how much I use, but you know what? It really brightens up the dish, and it's not an overpowering flavor, so it's kind of hard to use too much of it. Next up, let's take this and let's plate it into a portion that would be good as a side dish. That's a pretty good size for a side dish. We're going to take a look at this, and you're going to see in here a mix of different colored potatoes and the onions, and they're just kind of glistening, and they've got a little bit of crispiness on the edges. And now they do smell absolutely wonderful. Let's see how these guys taste. And that was really good. The onions also added a nice flavor to it. All of it came across with this very nutty, buttery, brown butter flavor, and this was an absolutely delightful side dish.